Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Relax.Cut.Glue. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you all here with me today. So today I'm going to make a little Halloween glue book type situation. I don't know. Last night before I went to bed, I was thinking about it and I've been trying to decide what I wanted to do. And for my fall stuff, I've really enjoyed doing smaller projects. So this one is intended to be smaller, but it might actually have more glue space than I intended. This is the cut and collage book that I will be using for my decorations in my book. And these are the papers. So these are the papers for my signatures. These are the papers for my waterfall. And then I was gifted these in a Happy Mail this weekend. And I'm going to use this as my cover. So let's get started. So when I come up with things, I make little drawings in my notebook, and that's how and then I do all the math and everything. So that's what I have sitting over here that I'll be looking at. I just finished up all my, dimensions and stuff before the video. Okay, so first things first, this is double-sided. That's why it's going to be my cover. And I need to cut this. Actually, I don't think I need this open. So I need to cut this at 6 inches. So I'm going to cut it in half. This will be my inside. Let's cut this in half right here. So 6 inches. And you can do this with anything. It doesn't have to be Halloween inspired. You know what I mean? So I'm going to save this because I'll use that for something else. So this will be my cover. And then now I need to score it. Okay, so I'm going to take this and grab my scoring tool here. Okay, so it's 6 by 12 now. 6 by 12. So I'm going to score this at 5 3/4. And wait, did I do that in the right spot? Yes. Okay, and then 6 1/4. So basically I'm giving myself a 1/2 inch spine in the middle there. Whoa, that person's flying down my street. So each of these panels will be 5 3/4 now. I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if going like that helps, but okay. So now I want to fold my paper on those score lines and give it a little creasy poo. There we go. So this will be my front panel. And this will be my back panel. Just gonna straighten some of that out. Okay, so now I have a little 1/2 inch spine. Okay. So next what I want to do is I'm gonna add a waterfall on the front and the back. Okay, so let's cut our waterfall papers now, and your waterfall papers need to be 5 1/2 wide and 5 high. So if I'm using plain paper, so if you're using a pattern cardstock, keep that in mind. So let's see, I need to cut all of these at 5 1/2. So let's do that. So let's cut this first. We know we need it 5 1/2 wide. I'll save this for artist trading cards or something like that. And then I need to cut these at 5. So when you're cutting it, the 5 1/2 side will be this way. The 5 will be this way. So that's why I just want you to be careful when you're cutting your papers, if it's a pattern. Okay. So I like to keep my papers in the direction I know it needs to go, just so I don't get confused. So let's do this again. I'm using 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock here. So I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. Put that aside for something else. And then I'm going to cut it at 5. 5 and 5. This will give me 4 waterfall pieces on each side, in case you want to make the same thing I'm making. One more time, we'll cut this at 5 1/2, and then 5, and 5. Okay, now that we have all of our pieces for our waterfall, we are going to have to score them. So we're going to put it on our scoreboard, and we want the 5-inch side to be right here. 5.5 should be down here. So this is technically our top, which is why we're scoring it this way. So we're going to score it at 4.5. Oops, I don't want that. I want this. 4.5. There we go. And we're just going to do that with every single one at 4.5. If you do not have a scoreboard, you can also do this with like a ruler and a butter knife or your bone folder or something of that nature. Oops, I had that turned the wrong way. You always want to make sure you got to go in the right direction. On the 5-inch side, we're just scoring it. Oh, no. Hate it when that happens. 4.5. Got excited. Missed my score line. Take your time when you're doing this. I tend to sometimes rush a little bit because I'm doing a video, so I need to calm down and relax. Okay, so all of these are scored now on their 4.5-inch side. So let's put this down for a little bit. And what we need to do now is fold them all over. I start in the middle and go one direction and then go the other direction. So this will go right here. Okay. Fold in the middle, go either direction. That way we make sure our lines are straight across. And I picked 4 colors because I knew I would have 4 waterfall spaces on each side. So each paper gave me 2 waterfall pieces. So I have a total of 8, 4 for each side, the front and the back. And we're folding. You can use pattern paper for this, double-sided paper. I like to do mine with a plain paper because I like to use these as a mat, like I did for my fall waterfall glue book. And then I'm going to make cards and glue the cards onto this. Okay. All right. So these are the colors I have. Now let me see. How do I want to? I think I'll start with purple, then go green, black, orange. Is that how I want to do it? I could go opposite on this side. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe do orange, black, green, purple. So I'll do opposite on the back. Okay. So let's glue in our waterfall. Okay. So this will be my front. I have these all here. This will be my back. I have these here. Okay, so I have my art glitter glue. You can use the glue of your choice. So what I'm going to do here is you take your piece with the 1/2-inch flap here, and I'm going to glue this right up at the top, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space between the side here and my spine. So my spine, from my spine to the cover is 5 3/4, and this is 5.5. So it'll give you just about like 1/8 of an inch on either side. So that's how you measure, like so. I like to turn mine upside down for my first one because I can see better. So I'm just going to add some glue. And I'm going to glue this flap right at the top here. You guys can't really see my score line, but I can see it. It's right here. So I'm just going to glue this at the top of my paper, leaving just a little bit of a ledge just because I don't want it to look like it's coming over the paper, over the top of my book. Okay. And I need my bone folder. What did I do with it? It's right here. So I'm just going to press that down. Not only does this crease my paper, but it also gets the glue to adhere. So I don't know if you can see here. So I do have it all the way to the top, but just there's this tiny, tiny little space there. That's only so when I close my book, you don't see that right, like hanging off the top. Okay, so then you flip that up, and now we will do our next color. Adding some glue, and you just keep it folded, and you're just going to put it right underneath this one. And you want to make sure that it's lined up there. Super easy to do. I like to put this one down and just kind of make sure that I have this how I want it. Give it a little crease. Crease it again and lift it up. Okay, next color. Oops, I got a little bit of glue on the back side there. All right, I'll glue this part right here. There we go. And you don't have to do a waterfall. You could just put a pocket here if you wanted. But I just like having the waterfalls because, one, I think they're fun, and I think they look great. And two, it gives me more space to glue, because you can glue on the backs too. Okay, so I'm just gonna butt that one up right there. Okay, so this bottom one here hangs over the edge just a little bit, so I will have to trim that off. So this last one, it looks like, will be just a hair longer. See? So I'll just trim that off when I'm all done here. I'd rather have that than only have 3 waterfall pieces, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's do this side now. We'll start with the orange. Okay, there's my crease. Okay. Oh, I need to turn it upside down because I have to do it this way. It just works easier. All right. So there we go. Give this a crease and lift up and repeat. Okay. Perfect. Oops, I got glue on that. There we go. All right, lifting up. We have green. Oh my gosh, these are so fun to make. I absolutely love them. Okay. All right, and last one. I thought I measured this out correctly, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so there's my waterfalls for both sides. Is put this on my cutting mat here. You could just use scissors if you want. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the end of my little booklet here. Cut that piece off. And I'll do the same over here. Okay, those pieces can go in the recycle bin. All right. So there we go. Now we have our book. It'll close like this. And we have our waterfalls in there. Now I just need to work on my signature. So I thought I would use, let me put a lid on my glue here, 6 pieces of paper. I'm wondering if that might be too much. Do I just want to put 3 in there? Okay, so now I'm going to cut my signature paper. I decided to go with all 6. I'm going to take 8.5 by 11 colored paper, and I'm going to turn it on this side here and cut on the 8.5 inch side here and cut it to 5 3/4. So now this is 5 3/4 by 11, like so, and that will be another piece of my signature. So let me just go ahead and do that real quick with all of these, and then I will be right back. Let me just do one more on here. 5 3/4, fold it in half. Bada bing, bada boom. Ooh, that one I messed up. See, I'm getting cocky, and then I messed up my fold. Tisk, tisk, Nicole. Tisk, tisk. There we go. Okay, I'll finish the rest of these, and I will be right back. Okay, so now I have my signature. So let's see. I think I want the black on the front. I'll do black, orange, purple, black, orange, purple. Okay. So now my signatures are 5 3/4 by 5.5. So I will glue these right in here. So I'm just going to eyeball this, but if you want to make it, you can use a ruler and, you know, kind of put a line down the middle. Let me show you here. You can, where's my pencil? Right here. So you know that your spine is, let me just close my waterfall here real quick because this will make everything so much easier here. So you know that your spine is 1/2 inch. So if you just want to put a line on, you can use your scoreboard or your, like a cutting mat. I'm just going to kind of put an eyeball down the middle and put a line really lightly with a pencil. And that way I can just put my 3 holes right where that middle line is. Okay, so I'm all done sewing in my signature. I used a purple embroidery floss. Now when you open this up, you have your waterfall pages that you can glue on the front and or back. You have I use 6 sheets of paper, and then I have the ones in the back that I can use as well. Okay, so my panels that I will collage on and then glue on here, I will have to cut at 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. So let's start by cutting it this way to 4 1/4. I'm showing you on this lighter paper, and then 5 1/4. I'm just using 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So this one I need to trim down to 5 1/4. And then you have your 2 panels. So you should get 4 panels out of one 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. So I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. I'm always double checking because look, this much was off. Okay, now I want to cut it at 5 1/4. And you could do a masterboard on your panel or on a 8.5 by 11 and then just cut that up. Or you can cut your panels up beforehand and collage on them individually. So let me show you here what I mean by these panels. So these are what I will glue on, and then I will glue them onto here like so. So now I have like this tiny bit of border around, but this is all going to have collaged papers on it. So I think this time around I'm not going to do a masterboard, and I'm just going to collage on each individual panel and then put that on here. And then I have all these papers as well to collage on. And then this one down here, because the bottom one I did have to cut a little bit off. I mean, you still could use this, but I would probably trim this instead of it being 4 1/4 high, maybe just do 4. Yeah, maybe just 4 on these bottom ones. But I mean, you could still use the 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 if you wanted. So these will all go on here, like I said, you won't see the brown because I'm going to cover it with collage. And then I have all these papers. And then I want to decorate the cover, and I want to put maybe some fabric on the spine, or, ooh, maybe some lace. Well, I want to add some lace or something here, so I'll check out the Dollar Tree or the craft store and see if I can find some black lace, because I don't have any black lace. That's all today for my craft with me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I created this really fun little Halloween book. I'm excited to start cutting up this book right here. Of all these images to use in here. I think it's going to be a blast. All right, everyone, that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, for supporting me and my channel. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to drink your water. Girl, so important. Just do it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.